Problem's too big, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Is that a valid concern? Is that something that you grapple with?
No, it's dangerous, actually. What they want us to do is tone this thing down, tamp it down, so that people don't become too overwhelmed. We can't just change overnight. Well, as Jeff just said, we have changed overnight, haven't we, in the last month? We are able to make serious fundamental changes in the way we live immediately if we think we're going to die. And that has forced the majority of people to say, I will do what needs to be done in order to live right now. This pandemic, this should teach us a lot about where we have failed when it comes to battling the climate emergency that we're in the middle of. Does anybody watching this think that, well, if we just get through this pandemic, that'll be the last of this? There won't be any more pandemics. The Mother Nature is sending us a huge, huge warning. Mother Nature has sent us to our timeout rooms right now. And we're supposed to spend this time thinking about how have we messed things up so bad that in this particular case, this virus leapt from a species that had been abused by humans, and now we are suffering from this. We're the ones in the cages, not the bats in China. We're the ones, I hope, being forced to think about this. And I think what you said, Crystal, is I understand, and let's make this clear. We have huge admiration for all of our fellow environmentalists and people that have worked so hard in the last 5 decades to fix this problem. The problem is it isn't fixed. And all of us, you know, when we don't accomplish what we need to accomplish in our lives, aren't we supposed to be somewhat self-reflective, somewhat self-critical, and say, okay, this doesn't seem to be working. What do we need to do to change this? And I know they don't want people to freak out, so they don't want to tell them the real truths of what is happening. But I have seen this from my own reporting and on my podcast. I've talked a lot about how people are not being told the whole truth from the beginning. And back in the end of February, beginning of March, I started saying what I knew to be true from my sources, that this is a 2-year pandemic. That's the first thing I heard from my source at the NIH.
Wow.
This is a 2-year pandemic. Nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to hear, we're all going outside in June. It's all over. It's not over. It's not anywhere near over. The 6 feet we were told to stay from each other, it's really, if you really talk to scientists who are deeply involved, but they don't know how to message this, it's more like 13 feet. The coronavirus, it can travel farther than what they told us at the beginning. At the beginning, remember, they just said, stay away from people that are coughing and sneezing. Well, that's gone. They've had to change their story a number of times. And I think from the beginning, it would have been better people don't want to be kept in the dark. They want transparency. They want the truth.